5 minutes of lineup talk right now for Fantasy Week 1. Welcome to a Sunday morning special edition of Fantasy Football Today in 5. We're going to be doing this every Sunday morning to help you set your lineups, going through the latest news and notes. I'm Adam Azer with Heath Cummings, and here we go. Chris Godwin is expected to play. They said they were going to take it right up until game time. Do you trust the report from Schefter enough to start Chris Godwin?
Well, the report was that he may be on some sort of a pitch count, so absolutely not. It's a desperation situation only. Mike Evans is really the only Tampa Bay wide receiver that I want to start. I do think there's a good chance that one of Julio or Gage or Godwin ends up being good. And so if you're in a desperation flex type situation, I could understand starting one of them, but I would rank them Julio, Godwin, then Gage, and none of them are in my top 40.
All right, how about Michael Thomas? He is going to play today, reportedly going to play today against the Atlanta Falcons at 1 o'clock, so at least we'll know that early. Starter sit Michael Thomas.
In a 2 wide receiver league, I'd really like to not have to start him. If I could get away from him, I would. I'd rather start DK Metcalf, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Adam Thielen, but he's in that wide receiver 3 range, and especially in full PPR.
Would you start Michael Thomas? I mean, I have a lot of Michael Thomas, Heath, so I think I'm going to start him. It's all 3 receiver leagues for me, but I'm going to start him over Julio Jones. I'm going to start him over Kadarius Toney. Would you do that?
Yes, Tony's much closer, but I think I'd still start Thomas over Toney.
Okay. Yeah, and then another decision I'm going to have to make ties into our next player. I'm going to have to make Michael Thomas versus I have J.K. Dobbins and Kenyon Drake. So, Michael Thomas versus a Ravens running back.
Yeah, unless we get more information, I'm just avoiding the Ravens backfield. I've got it split up basically like 7 or 8 carries apiece for Dobbins, Drake, and Davis. One of them will score a touchdown, but good luck guessing which one.
Okay, so
I would definitely start.
Out? I'm
What's
sorry.
That?
So it sounds like if Dobbins is in, you think it's going to be too messy, a 3-way split there. But what if Dobbins is out?
I would still have Michael Thomas ahead of those guys. Neither Drake nor Davis would be in my top 30 running backs.
Such a shame, because Godwin, you'd love the setup. If he were normal and healthy, you would think big game for the Bucs offense. Thomas against the Falcons, Dobbins against the Jets. They give up the most fantasy points to running backs.
It's week 1. Nobody's on a bye. Most people are healthy. We don't have to play these hurt players.
Yeah, I know. Just it's a shame. Zach Ertz. Well, what do we know about Zach Ertz right now?
We expect that he's going to try to play. The Cardinals certainly need him to play. There's no Rondale Moore. There's no DeAndre Hopkins. No J.J. Watt on the defensive side of the ball. Should be a shootout, not a bad touchdown-dependent stream, but I would rather start Gerald Everett. I would rather start Cole Kmet. I'd rather start Pat Freiermuth. I think if I had Higbee and I'd already started him, I'd rather just take those 11 points or 9 points or whatever and not risk it.
All right. George Kittle is unlikely to play. So how do you feel about Trey Lance with that news?
Like I was already, I think, the most nervous on Lance. He's QB 14 for me. I'd rather just see it. I'd start Wilson and Carr over him. I'd start Tua over him. So I don't love Lance. This gives Brandon Ayuk a little boost for me to make him a number 3 wide receiver, but it also sounds like it's going to rain most of the day. This could be a really ugly game that Kyle Shanahan just says, you know what, let's hand it off 35 times and go win a game and not risk anything.
Packers wide receivers, Allen Lazard is doubtful, so he's probably not going to play. We're expecting him not to play. Would you start any Packers wide receivers over, let's say, Michael Thomas?
Yeah, Aaron Jones. Besides that, no, I would not. It sounds like it's Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb are going to be the main targets, and then hopefully one of the rookies can contribute. I know the Sammy Watkins week 1 narrative. I think he'll be a semi-popular DFS play because of that, and some people are going to play him as a flex because of that. Again, it's week 1. Nobody's on a bye. I don't have to play Sammy Watkins.
And finally, if you were hoping for a late substitution for Chris Godwin or something like that, Jalen Tolbert was an option. But there was a report. One reporter said he wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Tolbert was a healthy inactive for tonight's game. So, what does that mean for Dak Prescott? What does that mean for the Dallas passing game?
Well, there was another report that it wasn't quite that far off, but it was just basically saying they thought Noah Brown was the number 2 and Simi Fehoko was the number 3. So you can't start a Cowboys wide receiver that's not named CeeDee Lamb. Dak is still a low-end number 1 starter. I'd start Dak over those guys that I said I'd start Lance over. I'd definitely start Dak over Lance.
Okay. That is it for Fantasy Football Today in 5. Hope that was helpful for everybody. Good luck to you. We will talk to you tonight when the games are over, not the Sunday night game. We'll talk to you just before that. So if you're going to watch us live on youtube.com/Fantasy Football Today, expect the start time around 8, maybe 8:10 p.m. Eastern, something like that. Thanks to Heath Cummings and all of you for watching and listening. I'm Adam Azer. Let's get a win. Let's go 1-0, baby.